the adjustment that a lot of players have to make from the college game to the pro game. But what was your biggest adjustment from year one to year two? Because that's where a lot of guys grow the most.
Yeah, I think the game definitely slowed down for me a little bit. I think you see, a lot of growth from year one to year two, like you mentioned. Obviously, I'm very lucky. I get to share the locker room with a lot of unbelievable veterans, guys who have, been through a lot of adversity, had a lot of success. So just being able to pick their brains and continue to grow, continue to, learn the offense better, learn defenses better, and just kind of really understand the running back position has been great for me.
Christian, we're talking about the jump that players make from year one to year two. I want to talk about the jump that you plan to make going from year one in North Turner's offense to year two. Just looking back on the 2018 season, your respective role in that offense and how you plan on improving on that and being better in 2019.
Right, yeah. I think that's a beautiful thing about football is you can always improve. And when you got a coach like Coach Turner, who's coached some of the most elite backs in the history of the game, guys that I had posters on my wall of, you get excited about that because there's always room to grow. And there's always room to keep yourself accountable and not get complacent. And I'm really excited about it. I try to pick his brain as much as I can. He's one of the best offensive minds, I've ever got to work with. So it's really been an honor, and I'm excited to continue working with him.
Christian, it's become very in vogue to say running backs are replaceable, that you should never spend a first-round pick, much less a top 10 pick on a running back, that you can find quality running backs anywhere in the draft, if not undrafted free agents. What's your response to that?
Well, I would just look around the league and you see the impact that the running back position has on each and every team. I think the best teams have elite running backs, and I think the game is shifting now to more of a versatile running back, guys who can run, who can catch, who can block, really 3-down, every down backs who impact offenses all around the league. You see it with the two teams that are playing in the Super Bowl right now, and so I think it's extremely valuable. Obviously, I'm a lobby for that, but I do think it's such a valuable position.
Well, a ton of your value comes not just your ability to run between the tackles or run away from guys off the edge, but your value as a pass catcher. How hard has that been to develop, and what do you think is the best part of your game?
Oh, man, I think it's definitely difficult to develop. I've always taken pride in being a complete back, doing stuff like Marshall Faulk and LaDainian Tomlinson and Emmitt Smith did back in the day, passing or catching the ball, running the ball in between the tackles, outside, whatever it is. I love playing football. I love the ball in my hands, and so I try to be on the field as much as possible to help my team. And so I think that's part of becoming a complete back. It's tough, but I love it.
All right, speaking of your team, you guys started out 6-2 this season, and then things sort of went sideways a little bit. Your team finished at 7-9. Looking back over the year, what do you think it was? What happened this season?
Oh, man, there's so much that happened. It's never one thing. It's, I love a lot of people like to put it on Cam's shoulder, and it's never just that one thing. You look at multiple games that we lost, we're within 6 points at the end of the game. There's you can look back on plays. I look back on the film and man, if I just did this, we would have won. If I just did that, we would have won. And I think you go around the whole team and you can say that. I think football is, the best game in the world. There's such a team element to it, and there's so many moving pieces at one time. It's really hard to pinpoint one thing, and especially in the NFL where it really is any given Sunday and any team can win. So, we have such an unbelievable team. We got great players, great leaders, great coaches, and so it's just more fuel to the fire heading into this next season.
Christian, I know you said a lot of people want to put it on Cam's shoulder from a figurative standpoint, but I want to talk about Cam's shoulder literally. Are you a little bit concerned about your quarterback undergoing another shoulder surgery this offseason?
No, he's an incredible competitor, very hard worker, and I know he's going to do whatever it takes to get back as quickly as possible. We've got an unbelievable staff out there as well, so I know they're going to take it extremely seriously and make the best decision, and I know he's going to be ready to roll.
All right, want to stay there on Cam Newton for a moment. Full disclosure, he's one of my favorite players in the league, and I think he's one of the most unfairly covered players in the league. People look at his raw passing numbers and don't equate what he does for you guys in the running game. Even when he's not running the football, how much easier I think he makes your job because he's a threat as a runner. And in my experience in talking to guys, people seem to really like him, and the emotion of the team goes with him. Who is Cam Newton, the guy? Forget the skills as a quarterback. The guy, the leader, and things people might not know about who Cam Newton is off the field for you guys.
Well, I mean, I think he'd appreciate you saying that. You know, kind of being a younger player in the league, you know, not really knowing. I mean, you step into a team like the Panthers with Cam Newton as a quarterback, you don't really know what to expect. And one thing I've learned about him, man, is he's one of the best teammates I've ever had. I've never heard him say a negative word about anybody. He's always positive. He thrives off of, you know, genuine positive energy, and you know, he's real. All the stuff you see is him, and that's what makes it fun. You know, he's allowed me to you know, bring the fun back into the game. You know, I get very serious and very driven, which is a good, and I'll never lose that. But he's kind of brought back the kid aspect in me of having fun playing football, and so it's been a lot of fun playing beside him.
Just real quick, one follow-up. You mentioned bring back the kid aspect. At any point, though, have you said, hey, man, I want to keep some of these footballs when I score touchdowns? I feel like he's made it a team mandate. You have to find a kid to give them to. It's fun to watch, but you got to have something on your mantle at home or something. Any pushback there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's such a good thing he does, man. Whenever we score, he gives the balls away as gifts, obviously. And, I mean, it's a cool deal to be a part of. Really cool thing, but I think you're exactly right. I might have to keep some of these. It depends. He almost tried to give away my first touchdown ball in Detroit. I wouldn't let him, though. I kept that one.
Christian, we got word that Julius Peppers just announced his retirement. Your thoughts on him as a teammate in his career?
Oh, man, I tell you what, it doesn't get better than him, man. And once again, as a young guy entering the league, being able to learn from someone like him was an honor. You know, I think that's kind of the words I would say, words I would use to describe him and his career. Man of very little words, but just a guy who did it the right way, who was obviously an unbelievable player, but an unbelievable person. And obviously you see him up for Walter Payton Man of the Year, so hoping he ends up winning that too for one last hurrah. But it was an honor to play with him. He's a great person, great player, and a great mentor to everybody who's come through the league.
Christian, I want to talk to you about C.J. Anderson. I've really enjoyed watching him in the last couple of weeks just because he's really enjoyed playing the game again in the last couple of weeks. He started the year with the Panthers. He's now playing for the Super Bowl Rams. Well, Super Bowl Rams who are trying to get a Super Bowl. Are you surprised he has been this effective for the Rams, this resurgence, if you will, of his career?
You know, I'm not very surprised. I think you look at his career and you look at the numbers he put up with Denver. He's been to Pro Bowls. He's been, you know, a heck of a player in the league for a while now. And a lot of time it's such a situational league. You see backs all over the place who do well with one team, maybe don't do well with another. And it might just be because it's not their fit. And so, you know, to see him find a good fit in L.A. and obviously the success that the team's had, the success that he's had, is no shock to me. You know, he's an unbelievably hard worker and a guy who, you know, knows how to have success, you know, reads the holes extremely well. So it was a lot of fun to be able to play with him for a little bit.
Christian, I joked with you off the air that you're breaking ankles and breaking stereotypes, but I was only really half joking. I'm curious, in your career pre-Stanford, did you have coaches try to convince you to play a different position? Did you have to almost fight to play running back, or was it obvious you were always going to be a running back?
No, I mean, that was one of the toughest part about, you know, the whole recruiting process was, you know, I didn't really understand or know if a coach wanted me as a true running back or as a hybrid. So I knew that Stanford wanted me as a true running back, and I wanted to play in a pro-style offense because I wanted to show that, you know, I could play running back, I could run in between the tackles. That's kind of been the thing on me my whole life for whatever reason. But I was just really thankful that Coach Shaw and their whole staff gave me an opportunity, believed in me the way that they did, and used me the way I wanted to be used.
Christian, in the last 2 years, the organization has used 3 of the first 4 draft selections on skill position players, yet your team finished behind everybody else in your division in yards and points. Do you guys feel any pressure when you look around the league at these other explosive offenses to be more productive in that regard?
Yeah, we're always searching to be productive. I think anytime you step on the field, you want to move the ball north. So, I wouldn't say it's pressure to beat these other teams. I think it's just pressure to put points on the board. So whatever we got to do to do that is what we're going to try to do. And obviously, once again, I think it's very situational. You got to look at every dynamic, every aspect of the game. But I definitely think, there's room to improve. There's always room to improve, and we're excited to get after it.
Christian, 2 quick questions. One, who's going to win on Sunday? I'm sure you've been asked by everyone.
Oh man, I hope they both lose. I have no idea.
I'm sure that's going to happen.
No, honestly, I think it'll be a good competitive game.
Okay, literally did not give us an answer. And 2, you're here on behalf of a partnership with Old Spice. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's been a great week being able to spend with Old Spice. They just launched, all their new products. They got 5 new body washes and the fresher collection that you can get at Walgreens, and it's been cool being able to partner with being an athlete who showers all the time. The one in particular, the Exfoliate, this one right here, Exfoliate with charcoal is great. It's cool to have a product that has, real ingredients, real benefits. It's fresh, so it's been a fun week being able to spend with them.
You got any teammates that are athletes that don't shower all the time that you're going to give them some Old Spice as like a not so subtle hint? You stank, man.
If that's the case, then absolutely, I'm going to have to get him on this quick. That's unacceptable.
Christian, stop
in the locker
fronting.
room.
You know you got teammates that take that shower pill on Friday. Stop it. You know you do.
Christian.
That's unacceptable, man. They get roasted.
Thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations on a great season. Enjoy the offseason. Much appreciated.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Much more First Things First right after this.
I heard you were one of those guys.
Stop it. You ain't hear that.
What's